are mayonnaise, yogurt, mustard, salt,
I've been recording, waiting for you.
Oh, do you want me to start over? Hi, today we're going to be making many dishes, including a potato salad. The first thing you have to do is mix in a bowl the mayonnaise, the yogurt, the mustard, the salt, and the pepper. Okay, in the bowl, I have a third of a cup of mayonnaise, a third of a cup of yogurt, 2 teaspoons of mustard, an eighth of a teaspoon of pepper, and a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. Just to stir it all together until it's well combined. Dressing for the salad. Next thing we need to do is to chop up our egg whites. We will not be using the yolk today, only the egg white. The reason I did not use egg yolks was because that is where all the fat is in an egg. And if you just use the egg whites, it is much healthier. Now we're going to dump them in the Next, you have to chop up a stalk of celery and a fourth of a cup of green onion. Here's the celery. I've already rinsed it off. Now the green onion. I have to rinse this off. Okay, into the dressing we're going to add the green onion and celery and the cooked potatoes. And just combine it all together. once you've combined it, you just cover it and chill it in the refrigerator for 6 to 24 hours. Now we're going to be making a giant oven burger. The ingredients are extra lean ground beef, a mixture of yellow onions and green onions, salt, mustard, and ketchup. What you do is you take your half pound of ground beef and you mix the onions, some salt, a teaspoon of mustard, and mix that all together. And then you press it into a pie plate. Until it's all nice and flat. And then you spread 1/3 of a cup of ketchup over it. And then you bake it in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. Now we're going to be making a dish called Ants Climbing Up the Tree. It consists of marinated ground beef that is stir-fried and fried cellophane noodles. Right now we're just going to make the marinade for the ground beef. The marinade consists of oil, soy sauce, sherry, and cornstarch. So you take a teaspoon of oil, of the sherry, and a teaspoon of cornstarch, and 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Mix this all together. until all the lumps are gone. And you pour this over the ground beef and mix it all up. And then you put it in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes. Stay tuned for the second half. Now for the second part of our ants climbing up the tree. We have to fry the cellophane noodles. So, oil. And then deep fry for a little bit. While that is frying, we'll get the wok ready for the sauce. Now we add our marinated ground beef. Cook that till nice and brown. Our cellophane noodles have been frying for about 3 minutes, and they are done. The meat is still browning. You have to drain these. Paper towels are fine. And these are called cellophane noodles, and you can get these at Lucky's. And over here we have the potatoes for our broiled fries. And in here we have our steamed rice. And our meat is almost done. Okay, after our meat is all brown, we're going to add some chicken broth and some soy sauce and some sugar. And it looks about like it's done, so we'll add it. Turning down the heat. I'll just let this simmer for a little bit. Stop. Okay, to the ground beef, I added 3/4 cup of chicken broth, 3/4 teaspoons of sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of soy sauce. And while it's simmering, you should add the cellophane noodles from before. And mix it all together. Then you let that simmer longer until all the liquid is absorbed. That's it. Okay, now we're going to make shrimp with hot sauce. The first thing we must do is prepare the cooking sauce. In here I have 1/4 cup of white vinegar, and to that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, some sugar, about a teaspoon, and 2 teaspoons cornstarch. Cornstarch is often used in sauces because it acts as a thickening agent. Okay, just stir that up. The next thing we must do is shell and devein our shrimp. I've done all of them except for these two to show you how to do it. What you do is you cut off the tail, and you take the shell off. Make sure you get off. And then see the intestinal vein right there? You have to take that out with the knife. You just slide it on there, and it pulls out. You do that with the other one too. Okay, with our shrimp, we're going to toss some sherry. This is about a tablespoon. Will you get out of the picture? Okay. That was funny. You toss the shrimp there. The next thing you have to do is heat up your wok, which I've done. And to that you add some oil. About a teaspoon. Okay. And then to that, when it's nice and hot, you add the garlic, some ginger, and some chili sauce. So we'll go on ahead and add that in there. So pressed garlic. Teaspoon of chili sauce. Ginger. And stir that up. And we add our shrimp. And they cook for about 3 minutes till they're all pink. after that, we're going to add our cooking sauce and some more oil. I think the shrimp is done, so we'll go ahead and add our cooking sauce. Also, we're going to add 2 stalks each of green onion and celery. And our bamboo shoots. That's about half a cup of bamboo shoots. Now our shrimp is done. I stir-fried it for about a minute. And now we're all done. And now for the final part of our dinner is the Chinese pancakes. What they're made out of is just unbleached flour and hot water, and you just mix them together in a bowl and you let it sit with a towel for about 30 minutes. Then afterwards you roll it into a roll like I have done. And then after that, you need to cut it into 18 spots. Right now, we'll just work with 2. Roll them into balls. And you dip one in the oil. And then put the 2 balls together. And you start push them together very lightly. And then you roll them out until they're about the size of a tortilla. That's good. Okay. And that's about the right size. And then you just cook it over a low flame. Open it. What the important thing to remember when you're making these is you don't want dark brown spots to appear. That means you've overcooked it. Our pancake is almost done. See how it's changed color? And it's about like this. You can take it off. And then what you do is you take them apart. Okay, here they are peeled apart. What you're just supposed to do is fold them up in little triangles like that. And while you pull them apart is so you'll get thinner ones. And when you put the 2 balls together, it makes 2 pancakes that when the dough inside stays moist. Okay. Now our meal is complete. I've made all the dinner entrees. Here's our steamed rice, the shrimp and hot sauce, the Chinese pancakes, the potato salad, the broiled fries, the snow peas, the oven burger, and our ants climbing in trees. And now we can eat. And now for our dessert. We will be making a chocolate cherry cobbler. In the casserole dish, I have mixed a can of pitted red tart cherries, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, some red food coloring, and almond extract. And that was just heated in a pan. And in here, I have a half a cup of flour, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of cocoa, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And now I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of margarine, and now the margarine has to be cut in so the mixture resembles fine crumbs. Okay. And after that, we add 1/3 of a cup of milk. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And now we mix it all together. Drop it by spoonfuls onto here. And we'll sprinkle some extra brown sugar on there for extra sweetness. And then we just put it in the oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And now our dessert part of the meal is done. We have a chocolate cherry cobbler, a chocolate milkshake, and tea.
And that is the end of Rochelle Can